welcome back to the channel. So we're going to start our series today on ELDX versus partition. And the first step in that is brass prep. So if you look here, we've got 99 cases of 65284. Missing one because I shot a deer, ejected the case in case I needed a follow-up shot. Didn't need the follow-up shot, but never could find that ejected case. I was up in a tripod stand. Anyway, got 99, and today we're going to do some brass prep. Going to start on a level platform, make sure every one of these cases are in exactly the same condition to take that variable out of the equation. And we're going to get these in good shape now. So we'll start with decapping all the spent primers. All right, I'm going to begin resizing here in just a minute. I've taken out the expander ball out of my die because I am going to do things a little differently. I'll show you. I'm going to get this lock and load headspace comparator kit right here. And I'm going to put in a fired case. And I'm going to hit 0. Now I know when I resize how far back I'm pushing the headspace, and my goal is 2 thousandths. All right, I've got 50 there. That's all full length resized with a shoulder bump of 2 thousandths. Got some more there. These I separated because I screwed up at the beginning trying to get it set to 2 thousandths. I messed several up. Yeah, that's correct. I messed 16 different cases up trying to get that set. They were all pushed back more than 2 thousandths, quite a bit more. So I screwed up there. I'll save them. I'll definitely use those later for something. But for now, I have these right here and those 50 that are ready to go. Next up, neck tension. Two and a half thousandths. All right, now I got to wipe off all of the lube that's on there. Just take a paper towel, wipe it around the neck, wipe it on the body, and take a Q-tip and get it out from the neck too. I'm going to dry that off, and then you're good to go. All right, so we got the brass decapped. We have it, it's been washed through a tumbler. We have then full length resized it with a 2 thousandths shoulder bump and use this 21st century neck mandrel to set the neck tension at 2.5 thousandths. Everything that I've done so far should be identical on all cases, and therefore we should get a good result. All I have left to do now is check the length of the case and trim if needed, and then deburr and chamfer the case necks that I trim and clean the primer pockets. All right, you see the bullets next to each other, only 3 grains of difference. The ELDX is 143 and the partition's 140, but yet because of the design and aerodynamics of the ELDX, it looks a lot longer. It is a lot longer. Definite different shape of the boat tail. partition has almost no boat tail, but technically it does, taper off a little bit. But you have a much bigger boat tail on the ELDX if you can see it from that angle. Of course, you have a polymer tip on the ELDX versus a kind of a lead tip on the Nosler partition. Of course, the ELDX claims match accuracy at all ranges as a hunting bullet with highest in class BC. That tip is a heat shield and it should not deform. And it has controlled expansion, optimum weight retention, delivers highly effective terminal performance at all practical ranges. That's the part that's probably in dispute. You basically see that polymer tip is going to cause a wedge pushing back. Shows here at 2,600 feet per second what the bullet should look like versus 1,800 feet per second. That's probably legit, except for I have seen many times where the core comes totally separated from the jacket. The back half of the bullet, the jacket, does seem to be pretty stout. It does stay intact and it does penetrate. But the front half of the bullet, like I said, the core tends to just totally separate from the jacket. But the front half of that jacket seems pretty fragile as well on tests I've seen. Of course, the partition boasts broad range of animals, devastating terminal performance, deep penetration, which I don't think anyone would argue with that. It gets its name from that literal wall in there, separating the bullet into two cores. At 3,200 feet per second, it should look like that. 2,600, 2,300, and 2,000. Minimum 1,800 feet per second is recommended. But basically, the front half of this bullet's going to just kind of blow into pieces, potentially look like that, but from what I've seen and read, more so blow into pieces. However, the back half on the back side of that partition does stay together and does penetrate very nicely. All right, big question is, during my testing, what powder am I going to use? I'd like to use the same powder, preferably the same amount, to keep the testing as close as possible. Not sure if I can do that though. Obviously has to be a powder that I own or can get easily, which is tough to get powders right now. So here's Nosler's book. There's the partition, 140 grain, BC of 490, sectional density of 287. With Reloader 19, it's showing a max velocity of 2952. Okay, I have Hunter, I have Reloader 22, and that's it. And I have IMR 4350. Let's look at the other one. So here is the 143 grain ELDX, BC of 623, and it's showing max out around 2,900 as well, and that's with Reloader 25. And then I have Reloader 22 here. It looks like on here the only one that is on both is Reloader 22. It's showing Reloader 22 here getting 2,900 at 52.5 grains, and here getting 2,922 at 52.5 grains. Hot diggity dog, there you go. I've got Reloader 22, and I'm going to use it in both. It seems like the same exact powder charge gets this pretty much same velocity, and so that's going to be perfect. I'm just going to go with what the book says, load up both, but I've got to do a few other things first. This is kind of the ending of part 1. In part 2, I'm going to test the chamber and the overall cartridge length, figure out exactly where I need to seat my bullets. I'm going to seat them both out at 20 thousandths. Then I'm just going to load them up and go shoot them. I will be shooting into water jugs, trying to capture the bullet, and I'll check weight retention and expansion. And then I'm just going to test velocity, and standard deviation, extreme spread. And then once I figure out kind of where I think that the winner is or whatever, probably play around with seating depth and try to get a real tight group. But anyway, Pretty excited about it. If you're excited about it, please leave a comment. Have any suggestions for me, please tell me. And until next time, take care.